What's going on, guys? So I am here at Ron Hoover RV and Marine in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I have a special guest with me today. So I brought my wife out here because I wanted her to take a look at some of these RVs that I come out and film. And I wanted her to provide some feedback on maybe what some of these manufacturers might be able to do a little bit different from a female's perspective, taking a look at the interior, or at least from my wife's perspective. I don't want to make this about a gender thing, but I do want to make it about different people's perspectives. So we're going to take a look at this Jayco Northpoint. This is the 383 FKWS L1LE. That model number is way too long. Before we step inside, let's take a look at the numbers on this unit. So this has a gross vehicle weight rating of 16,500 pounds, and it has a cargo capacity of 2,570 pounds. So this has 5 slides, 2 on the other side, 3 on this side, drop frame, a lot of storage. Let's hop right inside so we can start having kind of a collaborative conversation with my wife about things they might be able to do a little bit different and what we like about it. So I have my wife behind me, and we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to get her feedback on what she feels about all sorts of different things. So first of all, honey, what do you think about the colors, the wood tones? This is kind of a new thing for Jayco and manufacturers to go with these lighter tones. Traditionally, everything's been these real dark browns. But what do you think of the white?
I honestly like the darker tones, in my opinion. I think the white looks nice, but I think it just makes it look a little plain. It doesn't feel as warm or as inviting to me. Darker tones, I think, will look a lot more richer, a lot more warmer, inviting, more decorative. It'll kind of bring out the tones or the design on this. One of the other things I've noticed is no curtains. It just doesn't feel as homey and as inviting as I would like it.
So at least a place to put curtains, right?
Correct. Right. Or at least, give you the option to put them on there. It's just, I don't know, I just think it looks a little plain, a little too open, too plain, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Now, this is a huge kitchen. This kitchen is probably all of 14 feet long. What improvements do you think they could have made, or what do you think might have been a better approach to a kitchen? Do you like a kitchen this big? Are you all about having a massive kitchen in an RV, or would you prefer something smaller? What do you think about the kitchen overall?
The size is nice. It'd be great, but I think it limits you. As far as having a bunk room in here, I think there's an option for it if we didn't have as much wasted space over on that area over there.
Yeah, so maybe like a front bunk room. We talk a lot about rear bunk rooms and mid bunk rooms, but what about something like a front bunk room? And this kitchen, again, it's about 14 feet long. You take 7 feet of it, turn it into a bunk room, and you have more useful space for something this big.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of dead space right here. All this right here. That's a lot of dead space right there. So I think it's just wasted. Having a bunk room back here would be great. Maybe move the sink over to where
the dinette
the
area?
little dinette area is. And this area up here could be, a bunk room.
Absolutely, because there's still a lot of cabinetry. There's still a lot of space here that you'd be able to kind of reutilize to have the stove. So they put the microwave down here. Traditionally, the microwave is up here. They put a TV in here, and what do you think about having it?
I don't think you really need it when there's a TV right there.
Absolutely. And if you reposition the sink right here, you'd be watching the TV. And throw a dinette down here. And at least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely do that.
What do you like about this unit?
I like that it's very open. It's a very nice layout. But I just think the kitchen, it's nice, it's big, but you're really going to spend most of your time over in the living area, especially if you have some little ones.
Let's walk over there. All right, so now we're in the living room area. So what do you like about it, and what would you do different if you were the designer?
Curtains again. The dark tones. I like the gray, but I'm not really crazy about it. It's just light on light. I think they have to do a little bit more of a contrast.
Do you think it looks more of a classic interior, more of a modern interior? What era do you feel this interior reminds you of?
I think it's a little bit more modern at the same time because it's just very kind of straight edged. But in my opinion, I prefer a little bit more homey, a little bit warmer.
More classic, perhaps?
More classic, yeah, darker tones.
And then it's interesting how they've taken this whiter effect for the trim here, but then the valances, they kind of blend the light and the dark tones in, but then the entertainment center is all dark tones.
Right.
So I like contrasting tones like that, but not everyone's going to appreciate that or like that.
Yeah, it looks a little unfinished to me. That's what it feels like to me.
Okay.
It just seems a little unfinished. It seems like there's something missing. It just, all you see is open, clear windows. You don't see anything as decorative.
What about the fireplace? So a lot of manufacturers, they're putting these really wide fireplaces in now. What's your take on that? Do you like it like that, or do you prefer the taller, more, I guess, square-shaped units?
I prefer the taller, more square-shaped. You can see it better. That one's just very low to the ground, and I think it just kind of takes up a little bit too much space up on the sides of it.
What about the flooring?
It's nice. I have that in my office. I prefer the darker, of course. I just think it just looks a lot more richer.
You're probably sensing a trend here. My wife likes kind of that darker, I don't really know what era to say, but that darker brown tones with furniture, with trimming, accents like this, because it has more of that warmer feel to it. And if there's one thing that my wife really likes is a warm, inviting tone. And I know everyone's opinions are going to be different. Some people may absolutely love this lighter white tone, this more, I guess, modern. You're starting to see more uses of whites in homes and in RVs and things like that. But in some cases, you want to leave your home to stay in an RV that kind of feels like home. And I think that that's the point she's making. Because in our home, we have more of these darker tones, whereas the walls are relatively light. Our floor is kind of a mild tone, but our furniture... Actually, our furniture is kind of light as well, but at the same time, it gives you more of that warm, homey feel, which is what we really enjoy when we're camping. Let's move along to the bedroom. Now, the first thing I'll comment on before my wife does is the use of these flip-up stairs that are directly in the path of the hallway. And they take up about 10 inches of roughly maybe 24 inches worth of space. So that's kind of an interesting use of stairs. I would have probably preferred the more classic style that fold out from the bottom, simply because it would have given you kind of an unintrusive access here. But that being said, when you're camping, those stairs are going to be down, right? You're not going to be walking through here with the stairs up unless you're traveling, for the most part. Okay, so now we're taking a look at this bathroom. The sun is shining directly in, so it'll probably block out the camera, but this has incredibly tall ceilings in here. One-piece shower. Has a nice porcelain foot flush toilet. Nice vanity here off to the side. What do you think about the restroom?
I like it. It's a nice little layout. I'm not sure. Does it have a little pantry for toiletries?
It has kind of a medicine cabinet up high, but I don't really see a dedicated spot for toiletries unless you plan on putting them under the sink. And there's another medicine cabinet here above the vanity. Well, you're right. I don't really see any area to put like toiletries unless, again, you put them way up high in here, and it's not overly convenient.
I use the one under my sink for all my cleaners and supplies.
And we have that kind of a cabinet area behind our shower that gives us more room for toilet papers, towels, things like that. And I don't see it on here. Overall, what do you think?
Yeah, it's okay.
A lot of space, though.
Yeah, a lot of space. Just, yeah, I love the one-piece shower. That's really nice. I like all of the indentions for your shampoos. I really like that.
Absolutely.
That's nice.
Okay, moving into the bedroom. All right, guys, so now we are in the bedroom. Somebody forgot to make the bed completely, but it is a king-size bed. It has that shiplap kind of headboard design there. Very tall, because this is a full-profile fifth wheel, which means it doesn't slope down towards the back like some of them do. You can see your laundry areas here, as well as your mirrors right here, a lot of wardrobe storage. You have some more storage down here. So, honey, what do you think of the bedroom area?
I like it. It's nice. I like the tones in here. If you notice back there where the window is, the wall tone is a little bit more of a, maybe a taupe with the brown, so that blends in a little bit more, but again, no curtains. I like it dark. Otherwise, first sign of daylight, I'm up.
Yep, and what about the darker cabinets back here?
They're very nice.
So this is pretty much the tone you like, right? The color tone. You like the dark cabinet style on kind of a lighter back wall to give you your contrast there, not necessarily having a white cabinet next to a dark cabinet, right?
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I like.
What do you think about the fact that everything is just straight vinyl linoleum flooring all the way up to the front?
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat right there. I like that it's it's going to be very easy to clean.
And that's probably the most single important thing for you when it comes to staying in an RV, having a clean one, right?
Yep, got to keep it clean.
My wife is a clean freak, not gonna lie. Lots of windows in here, including this really large window, and more storage down below. How do you feel about how RV manufacturers may utilize storage like this? Instead of keeping that open and giving you more space, they put a ton of cabinets and drawers there. Do you prefer the open space, or do you prefer having extra storage options?
Me personally, I prefer the storage options because you can put all your sheets, your linen. Now, if you have a pet with a crate or maybe something small for a small child, then you'd probably want the space. But I like the storage.
Sure, and there's nothing to say you can't remove some of that, I guess, if you're handy with tools. Now, let's show you storage that we have in ours, but you're also going to have under here, and that is your under-bed storage. Lots of supplies that are included with this unit are under here, and you get more storage under the bed, and we really utilize this. This is where all the big stuff goes, like big, heavy comforters. That way we don't have to keep them in closets and such. There's a good amount of room in here. And in case you're wondering, my wife had to make the bed before we left. I'm serious, before we left, she said, we got to make the bed. All right, guys, so that is the first ever RV collaboration with my wife. That's her feedback. The way she looks at these oftentimes is there's a lot of things you can say positive about them. There's a lot of really nice aspects to it, but what she likes to really focus on are the things that might differentiate one that she really loves from a floor plan that she might either just like or doesn't really like. In the case of this one, how do you rate this one? Do you say you love it, you hate it, or you think it's okay?
I like it. If the colors were different, I think I would really, really like this. The only thing is the room. Of course, we need a bunk room.
And I guess the color tones, right? You'd change a little bit about that. It's not too bad. There's just some areas that you might prefer to be a little darker.
Yes, for sure. Got to make it feel like home.
But aside from that, I like the interior. I like the layout. I like the focus of it. What's interesting is they give you a ton of sleeping space out here. You fold both of these beds out and you have this huge space. However, they don't really give you isolated space. So that was kind of the point of the front bunkhouse. If they could turn the front of this unit, maybe the front 7 feet in front of the refrigerator, into a bunk room, man, that would really accommodate for more people, and it would give you that isolation. Plus, put a dinette where we're sitting. We're sitting on a sofa that looks just like that in a slide. Throw a table with 4 chairs here. You have more accommodation in this space, still good visibility to the TV, and then you can still utilize that as an extra bed. So you have, sleeping for possibly 2 or 3 up front, 4 or 5, and then 6, 7 in the back. And I think that would be a little bit more useful way to set up the interior of one of these, because that is a massive kitchen. And part of that is that little booth there. And if they simply put a dinette here, it would accommodate for that.
For a couple, it'd be nice, but for a bigger family, yeah, you need the space.
Absolutely. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want my wife featured in more of them, please let me know. She is absolutely willing to provide her feedback and commentary on any of these RVs that I walk through. So if you like this specific video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, and we'll talk to you again very soon.